Hello, I'm Peters Sieradski, and it is Wednesday, September 18th, 2013, and tonight is the harvest moon, full moon signaling the beginning of autumn and the approach of the autumnal equinox, which will be this weekend, uh, marking the evening out of the length of the day and night. So what does this mean for us from the perspective of Chinese medicine and health cultivation in general? A few things. One is that yin and yang are considered to be in balance at this time. The height of summer marks the height of yang energy, the active movement force, and the middle of winter marks the supremacy of yin, or the nourishing, descending, uh, containing energy. So right now we're kind of at the midpoint, but we're at the midpoint heading towards winter, and so that means that yin is gaining supremacy and yang is declining. And so for our purposes, this means that we need to, in our own lives, pay attention to this. Start going to bed earlier, start getting more rest, start doing things that harvest the qi. So this is the harvest moon, and the farmers are harvesting their crops. We should also be harvesting our energy from the environment and from our life in general, not so much running around putting more energy out. Paradoxically, school starts now for many children, and also young adults and others who are going to college and so forth. But while it seems like this is a time that energy should start be going out more due to these kinds of beginnings, in reality, we all need to be aware that the energy is declining now. There's less energy available, and more needs to be stored for the long winter months. Just like food is traditionally in traditional societies, food would be canned and so forth. So what can you do? You can take naps. A good time to take a nap is between 2 and 3 in the afternoon. That's the ideal time. A little bit earlier, a little bit later, but too much later and you'll interrupt your evening sleep cycle. Too much earlier and often it's hard to fall into a nice deep nap. But if you take it at the right time, there is actually a lull in circadian rhythm in the afternoon that's naturally occurring. You just ride that and you can often get into a nice napping state, especially between 2 and 3 in the afternoon. Use of stimulants. I would suggest trying to refrain from overindulging in things like coffee and mate and black tea, because naturally your body's going to be a little bit less energetic. So it might feel like, oh gosh, I'm more tired, I should take more coffee. But you're going to end up disrupting your natural need for more rest. The season of autumn is associated with the lung element, the element and the organ system related to the lungs, which is called metal in Chinese medicine and in Chinese yin-yang, five-element theory. The lungs' job is to estringe the energy, to gather it together, just like when we breathe in, we bring energy into the body. And there's also a relationship with the kidneys. The kidneys estringe and descend the lung qi. So we need to also, for those reasons, not be doing things that promote extra urination, that drag the kidney energy down. Drinking too much coffee will do that, and so forth. Also, we should be more circumspect in our bedroom habits and take more time in between activities that take energy from the body. And this includes exercise, so moderate exercise is always good, but now is not the time to be doing too much exercise. And make sure that you rest and take breaks and so forth. And if you're tired, rest. Don't push yourself. Because we're at a season change, any season change, there's opportunity for what we call climatic factors to invade the body. Because the temperature is changing, your body's need to balance interior-exterior changes. And so right now, especially in this particular season change, going from late summer into early fall, it's very easy to contract viruses. The lung qi is responsible for governing the immune system and essentially like the barrier around the body that fights off invaders and keeps in the normal qi, the healthy upright qi that balances the body and runs all of your normal functions. So the lungs are your exterior protection. One way to visualize this is that the lungs are continuous with the air around us. So there's air here, but the air is also inside in the lungs, and so that one lining is continuous with the skin and the lungs interiorly. So that's also why the lungs are considered to govern the skin. So it's especially important to promote the immune system functions at this time. There are several things that you can keep in mind for this. The first is always, I suggest to everybody to supplement vitamin C and vitamin D. Vitamin D levels can be monitored through blood tests. You don't want them to be too high, but it's actually difficult to get them too high without taking lots and lots of vitamin D supplementation. I would recommend at least 5,000 units a day, and also trying to get sun exposure if possible. As far as vitamin C, you really can't overdose on vitamin C. If you do, you get loose stools, and then you know that you have taken more than your body can process. So again, I would take at least 2,000 units a day. Both of those will help support the immune system function. Aside from that, there are herbs available that can help with the immune system. Those are best prescribed, but in general, it's relatively safe to take formulas with astragalus in them, provided that you do not have things like hot flashes or a tendency to night sweats or other heat signs that may be related to a problem with too much heat in the lungs or in the upper jiao, upper burner part of the body. So otherwise, astragalus, which you can is okay, and you can find several over-the-counter versions probably in your local herbal section of your someplace like the Market of Choice or Sundance or something. However, if you want a little bit more expert guidance, I'm of course available, and would be happy to talk to you about what I think might be useful. Otherwise, please enjoy the harvest moon. Traditionally in Chinese culture, this is a time when friends and family gather together to admire the full moon. So grab a loved one, step outside. Hopefully we'll continue to have some clear skies into the next few evenings, and we'll be able to admire the beauty of this wonderful season through the autumnal harvest moon. Once again, thank you. I'm Peters Sieradski. Have a great autumn, and my love to your family.